Hi there, everybody. My name is Richard McMahon from the interview training company PassMyInterview.com, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to pass a human resources manager interview. And in particular, I'm going to give you a number of interview questions to prepare for, and more importantly, suggested answers. So please stick around from beginning to end, because I strongly believe you're going to find this tutorial extremely helpful. Now, before I get into the questions and answers, a very warm welcome to this tutorial. My name is Richard McMahon, that's me there on the right hand side, and I've been helping people like you for over 20 years now to successfully pass their interviews. And in this video we're going to focus specifically on how you can pass your HR manager interview. It's a difficult interview, but I feel strongly that by the time we get to the end of this tutorial, you'll be far better prepared, because I'm going to give you some interview questions and unique answers that I believe will score very highly. Now, as always, please make sure you subscribe to my channel by clicking the red button below the video. And also, if you do like the questions, answers, the tips, and this tutorial, I would very much appreciate it if you hit the like button and gave the video a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Okay, straight into the tutorial. Question number 1 of your HR manager interview. Tell me about yourself and why you want to become a HR manager. Now, 2 important tips for getting this interview question correct. During your answer, make sure you focus on the skills, the attributes, and the previous work experience you have that are all relevant to the role of a HR manager. Do not spend time discussing your home life. The interview panel are simply not interested. So make sure you create a response that's focused on your skills and attributes and your previous work experience. And also, key skills such as being able to manage effectively, lead and inspire your team, demonstrate great attention to detail, have resilience and confidence, also an ability to follow rules and procedures are all positive attributes of the human resources manager role. So make sure you utilize those in your response. So here's a great answer to this question that you can use. Tell me about yourself and why you want to become a HR manager. Here we go. I am a highly organised, dedicated and professional individual who is extremely passionate about working in HR and the responsibility that comes with the role. Now, over the years, I've been working towards the HR manager position, and as such, I've carried out lots of studying and professional development work to enable me to be in the position where I believe I can perform the role to the high standards required. I want to become a HR manager because I thrive in a pressurized environment where attention to detail is paramount. I also want to work in a role where I have lots of responsibility and where I can make a significant impact to people's working lives and also deliver on the set goals of my employer. I believe if you hire me as your HR manager, you will be impressed with my work ethic and my ability to deliver consistent results whilst working under pressure. Now, I believe that is a very strong answer. It's clear, it's concise, and it hits every part of the question correctly. Now, I'm going to give you a number of these, so please do stick around from beginning to end. And also, if you'd like a copy of these, I'll tell you where you can get them very soon. Question number 2 of your HR manager interview. What qualities and attributes are required specifically to be an effective HR manager? Now, this is assessing your understanding of the role. So 2 tips to get this question correct. Make sure you have a set number of qualities and attributes already prepared for this question. My advice is to utilize 7 specific main qualities and attributes that are essential to the HR manager role, and I will give you them in a second. Tip number 2, before you answer the question, my advice is to make sure you study the job description in detail and then pick out the key qualities and attributes they require from the successful candidate. Okay, here's my sample answer with those 7 key skills and attributes. So the question is again, what qualities and attributes are required specifically to be an effective HR manager? Here we go. I believe you need 7 key qualities and attributes to become a competent and effective HR manager. These are an ability to work hard under pressure, especially in regard to strict timescales, an ability to follow rules and procedures and ensure your staff do the same, an ability to demonstrate great attention to detail in everything you do, a willingness and desire to maintain competence in your role, especially in respect of the ever-changing guidelines, laws and procedures that are coming into force on a regular basis, an ability to be open to change simply because an organisation cannot grow and thrive without this. You have to have a steadfast and resilient approach to your work, especially when dealing with members of staff in potentially conflict situations, and finally, an innate ability to communicate effectively both in writing and also during face-to-face conversations, meetings, and interviews. I feel strongly I have developed all of these qualities and attributes over the years, and these will enable me to work effectively and competently as your HR manager. Another solid response, in my opinion. Next question. As our HR manager, you will be required to manage the department effectively on a daily basis. Describe your management style in 3 words. 2 tips. So this question relates to your style of management. Therefore, you need to pick out 3 strong qualities you have that all combine to make a resilient and robust managerial style. Because being a HR manager requires a unique set of skills. Tip number 2, my advice is to give 3 specific attributes and then back them up with a reason as to why they are impressive qualities. How do you do that? Here's my sample response. So the question again, as our HR manager, you will be required to manage the department effectively on a daily basis. Describe your management style in 3 words. Here we go. I would say my management style is consistent, inspirational, and professional. I am consistent because I will always treat people fairly and on the same level at all times. I am inspirational because I believe I can encourage my team to thrive within the environment they are working in. And I am professional because I will always uphold the principles and values of the organisation I'm working for, and also uphold employment law and regulations at all times. So that's a short, punchy response that demonstrates you know your style of management and you are giving 3 great attributes. Let's move on to the next question. Don't forget, I'm going to tell you where you can download these very soon. Why have you chosen our company to work for as a human resources manager? 2 tips. Make sure you have 2 key reasons why you've chosen their company. My advice is to focus on their reputation within the industry they're working in, and also the fact they are a supportive organisation, which will in turn enable you to perform your role as HR manager to a high standard. Tip number 2. At the end of your answer, give a specific reason why you feel you will be able to excel in the role as their HR manager. And here's how to answer this question, making use of those 2 important tips. Here we go. Why have you chosen our company to work as a HR manager? I've chosen your company for 2 main reasons. The first reason is because of the reputation you have within the industry and also the standard you expect of your staff. Now, secondly, you are clearly an organisation who supports its staff in their work. And I want to work in an organisation that will support me within the role of HR manager, because I too have very high standards, and I feel it is important to have the support of your senior management team when working in this type of role. Human resources is, in my opinion, an integral part of the successful management of any organisation. And whilst some companies may pay lip service to it, you clearly take human resources very seriously. Those are the main reasons why I've chosen your organisation to work for over the others. And I believe I would get immense satisfaction in this role, as I'll be able to move the human resources team forward in a positive and constructive manner. That's a really good response. Next question. Give me an example of a complex HR issue you've dealt with and what you did from start to finish. That's a tough question. So give me an example of a complex HR issue you've dealt with and what you did from start to finish. 2 tips. Make the situation as difficult as possible and demonstrate how resilient you were in resolving the issues that were presented. Now, obviously, to be an effective HR manager, you will need to be confident and resilient in everything you do. So you have to give an example here of when you've already done that. Tip number 2. My advice, and this is a great tip, is to use the STAR technique when answering this interview question, because this will ensure the response you give is specific in nature. So what you don't want to do is to fall into the trap of saying, well, if that situation came about, this is what I would do. They're asking you to give a specific example. So if you construct your response using STAR technique, which is situation, task, action, result, then it will make sure your response is specific. So you start off and tell a panel what situation we're in, then you tell them the task that needed to be done, then you explain the action that needed, so the action you took and the action others took, and then you tell them the result of your actions. So it's STAR, situation, task, action, result, and this is how to do it. Give me an example of a complex HR issue you've dealt with and what you did from start to finish. Here we go. In a previous role, I was working as part of a human resources team who were tasked with implementing new working practices for managers and team leaders. Now, the organisation had been in some difficulty for some time in respect of receiving numerous complaints from staff about how they were being treated by some departmental heads and managers. Now, this was a difficult project to work on simply because most of the managers and team leaders had been in a position for many years and they had not been held accountable for their actions. We started off by creating a robust set of working practices that clearly define the standards expected of all managerial staff. Now, once these had been created and verified by our legal department, we set about carrying out training for all managerial staff based on the new procedures. This proved to be the most difficult stage of the process simply because we came up against some difficult managers and resistance who were clearly not open to change. However, we persevered, set the standards high, and put in support processes for all managers to utilise if and when they needed that support. After 6 months of completing the turnaround, the complaints from staff ceased and the organisation was in a much better place managerially to move forward and achieve its objectives. So you'll see during that response I've utilised STAR. I've spoken about the situation I was in, the task that needed to be done. I then explain the action. I say we started off by creating, and then also the result after 6 months of completing. So if you utilise situation, task, action, result, that will help you to provide a real strong, solid, specific answer to the question. So if you'd like to download these and another 12 HR manager interview questions and more importantly the answers, click the link below this video in the description. Go to my website passmyinterview.com. This is the website here and you'll be able to get I'll put the link in it to the HR manager page where you can download the questions and answers. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that tutorial. Don't forget, please subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. I'd very, very much appreciate that. And if you've got any specific interview coming up, please, I'll ask for help in the comments section below the video, and I'm happy to help you. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all the very best in your pursuit to becoming a HR manager. Thank you.